Hello students. See, in the previous class we have discussed about the process of the therapeutic counseling, how the therapeutic counseling goes and what exactly the steps which we need to do in the therapeutic counseling. See, whatever the process it may be, or either whatever the techniques we may use, or either whatever the skills which we may use in the counseling, but the qualities of the counselor plays very important. See, we can also say that ultimately the counseling result of the counseling also determined or also based upon the qualities of the counselor. See, so what are the qualities we need to have? See, every individual have positive qualities and negative qualities used to be there. But as a counselor, what are all the special qualities or special skills qualities we need to have? So you can also do one thing like see, you are in the process of to become a counselor, or you are in the learning processes to become a counselor. You can just assess as a student. You can just assess that whether do you have all these qualities. And by seeing this, you can also assess that what are all the other qualities I need to develop to become a good counselor. So let me see what are all the different qualities which is required for a counselor. See, very important is a positive regard or respect for people. See, we may meet different people with the different problems. See, for example, if in front of you, if you are attending a HIV positive person, and if you think that maybe this person has got the HIV because of the sexual behavior. No, we should not have that particular notion. Whoever the person who is sitting in front of you, you should have the acceptance of him, or you should accept him. He may be a it may be a woman, or it may be a child, or it may be adolescent, it may be a commercial sex worker, it may be any transgender, it may be a youth, or it may be a senior citizen, it may be a person with the extramarital affair, it may be a divorcee, it may be anyone, but we need to accept the individual as they are. Why? Because acceptance is the preliminary step to give the better for that particular client. And also I can say that open and non-judgmental attitude towards the client. See, as a counselor, we should not judge. Okay, maybe the person into the problem because of it. Why you have that extramarital affair? Why you are keeping that? See, those are all the judgment I am making. No, as a counselor, I should not make any judgments. I should be non-judgmental, because here I am solving the problems from the client's perspective, not from my perspective. And as a counselor, we should have the caring and empathetic understanding of the client. See, we need to show some care towards the client. Like, okay, you can tell. I can understand, you can solve your problem, need not to be worried, don't worry. So those are all the caring words we can give to the client. And empathetic, understanding his problems from his perspective. Self-aware and self-disciplined. See, counselor, I should think that I cannot solve all problems. I should know my limitations in solving the techniques. I should know the limitations of in solving the problems, and I should be self-disciplined. It may be the disciplines in the sense of my behavior, the discipline in the sense of my my dressing or my combing or anything. See, it's like the person, I should give a mirror image. See, if I am not disciplined, how can I make the client to be disciplined? So my behavior has to be very positive, so that the client's behavior can be modified to the positive. So very importantly, I should aware about my own strengths and weaknesses in solving the problems. The counselor should be knowledgeable. See, without having the proper understanding regarding the theories and skills and about profession, I cannot work in the helping profession, or I cannot give the counseling. I should have that particular knowledge, that whichever I should have that psychological knowledge, and knowledge regarding the subject, and I should be very thorough regarding the subject also. And for that, as a counselor, I am practicing counseling from last 10 years. By my experience, I can say that as a counselor, we need to read a lot, because every day we can see that the changes or changing phenomena in the problems also taking place in a very dynamic way. So according to the changing problems, or according to the different dynamic problems, we as a counselor also we need to change. I cannot apply the same techniques which I was applying 10 years back. So what is today's problem? I need to understand that. So according to the today's problem, according to the today's phenomena, I need to give the suggestions. Okay. See, from 10, if I give example, 10 years back, living in relationship was something which was which was not which was not discussed also. Which was very when people discuss about living in relationship, some stigmas used to be there. But today it has become one of the common phenomena in the society. Many youth, many young generations are having the living in relationship. That has become one of the priority, and that has become one of the need of the present scenario. So how can we avoid that, or how can we say that don't do that, and we don't have right also. So we need to understand the changing phenomena of the society. See, when we have accepted urbanization, when we have accepted industrialization, we need to accept these phenomena also. Okay. So cultural sensitive, different cultural peoples we may work. So we should have that cultural sensitive. See, for example, if if a woman sitting in front of you, from the Islam religion, and we need to understand that what all the cultural aspects, sensitive things are there in her religion, and we cannot just give the suggestions like we give for other cultural people. So that cultural sensitiveness has to be there. And as a counselor, we should be very patient, we should be a good listener, and ability to maintain confidentiality. See, the confidentiality, if there are many cases are there in the society where people have committed suicide because of the confidentiality has broke. See, that should not be done from the counselor's side. We need to maintain the confidentiality. Only we can break the confidentiality when it is required. That is called as the shared confidentiality, and mainly this shared confidentiality done in the when we are working in the group, or when we are working in the team. So, and as a counselor, we should have the objectivity and clarity. See, what I am doing, why I am doing, for whom I am doing, and that clarity has to be there. And as a profession, I should have the clarity that I am a counselor and I am in the helping process, and I should help the client. Just for the sake of job, don't do the counseling, or don't do that, because you cannot play with the emotions of the individuals. This person who is sitting in front of you is he is facing emotional instability, or he has come with the trust that the counselor definitely helps me to come out of the problem. So you cannot break that trust. So just don't play with the emotions of the human beings. You should have the clarity. So these are all the few of the, and other than that, the reflection, questioning, paraphrasing, interpretation. So those are all the skills also goes. But as I discussed in the previous 2 slides, those are all the very important skills which is required for a counselor. Other than that, some of as a counselor, we should have the sense of humor also, so that we can make the client to laugh and adjust with the who can goes with the counseling process. So students, you need to understand all these required qualities, so that now at this moment you should evaluate that whether I am having these qualities, or whether I need to pose, or whether I need to possess, or whether I need to learn those qualities.